Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's coming up to 3:30 on Wednesday, the 13th of July. And with any luck, you should get this in your inbox on Saturday, the 16th of July. My apologies that I've been missing for the last couple of weeks. Hopefully in the next 10 days or so, I'll be back to normal. But nothing much changed in market since I've last done a video. As you can see, the US stock market's on its knees after a dismal inflation report. Inflation running at 9.1% across the pond, and that in fact is the highest in 41 years, I believe. So we have the short-term trend is down, the underlying trend is down, and the longest-term measure of the trend on VectorVest is down. And as you can see, there's 416 companies on the buy, a whopping 4,000 on a sell, and 4,800 on a hold recommendation. So as you can see, the buy-sell ratio is deep in oversold territory at 0.11. It would be a brave man who would buy into it at this level. I think I've got the composite open, and that's the VectorVest Composite, folks, of the US. And you don't have to be much of a technician to see how important this level is. That's the COVID high, February 2020, and there's the COVID collapse. There's the push up that ended last November, and this is the sell-off. And unfortunately, folks, or fortunately, there's nothing on this chart that suggests any change to the technical picture. We've pulled back to the last old high, and that's what markets do. So it may be quite a miserable move, but as long as we hang in there above these highs, then pretty much the technical picture is intact. If I put on the confirm calls, let's go back for a year, put on the confirm calls, and you can see that apart from this little flurry here that we had in April, the confirm calls have been down since last November, an exceptionally good signal. I don't see any great divergence patterns emerging as yet from the MTI or the buy-sell ratio. Both, especially the buy-sell ratio, is on its knees. So folks, we need to sit and be patient here. It looks to me, and certainly those people that interpret the Fed funds rate are now saying that there's a reasonable probability that the Fed's going to whack us with a 0.75% increase in interest rates at the next meeting. We shall see. I don't see that there's much else that they can do. Especially in the light of that very, very strong jobs report that we had last Friday. Let's look at the United Kingdom, and there's last night's close. So that would be what, the Tuesday, the 12th of July's close, and the market's off a little bit this morning, and although the short-term trend is still up in the UK, underlying trend is down. Pretty much everything is down. Again, be very a brave chap that buys in at these levels. VectorVest advocates caution when buying stocks at this time, and I've looked at the buy-sell ratio in a slightly different way here, and as you can see, the number of sales outnumbering those of buys considerably. The buy-sell ratio is 0.19. Okay, again, I've got the composite open if I can find it. I think that's it, and I think that we're definitely down a little bit today. As a technician, I can't stop myself drawing trend lines. I think you all know that. There was a nice blip up here off that low, and since I think the end of April, the longest term measure of the trend on VectorVest has been down, and as we'll all have found, folks, it's very difficult to make money in that environment. the most important thing about a recession, if there is a recession already, is to get through it. And similarly, the most important thing about an overall market that's falling is to survive, so that we can actually start to make some money again when we go into one of these things. So let's have a look at the trends. As you can see, there's the February high, and if I go to my little horizontal line, you can see that that support came in, and that is now broken, and that's being tested, folks, and that's quite an important level. So I would like to see us well above this level before getting into markets again. This level being tested. The other day I thought it would go up and take that top out before falling, and similarly in the US, but that hasn't happened. We've fallen before taking that top out, and that's quite a bearish situation, I'm afraid. So let's just be very, very careful there. I haven't done much, as you know. I've been in hospital for the guts of 2 weeks, so I haven't really done much, but those shares that I've hold, which I've spoken about many times, I haven't done anything to those apart from sell that little Spanish copper producer a couple of weeks, about a week ago. And I'm reasonably pleased with the look of the rest of them. I'm not going to go through them here today. I've been through them on many occasions. So I'm sitting at about, I think, 26% in stocks, the rest sitting in cash, waiting for a bottom here. And depending on your own trading plan, you're either going to be using this to buy into weakness and really good stocks, if that's your game plan, or you're waiting, like me, for the market to turn up. If we were to break up here, then this little thing will be deemed as irrelevant in a couple of weeks' time. I've suggested some stocks for aggressive traders in the written element of the views, but folks, for most of us, it's a matter of, in fact, sitting this out. As I say, on both the UK and the US markets, what we've got here so far, technically, is a pullback against a big run-up, and that is what happens. Markets break and they go back, and this old resistance becomes support. That's just the way it is. It could be an awful lot worse. There's the red here, and if we go back to the American market, if I can find it. No, that's the UK market. If we go back to the American market, we can see that not much has happened today. I've been short a tiny position. I promised those close to me that I won't bet with decent sized positions until I've got this illness well behind me. But I betted a couple of pounds a point on a short at the CPI number, and I managed to take 40 points out of that. It was a very small bet, just something to keep my hand in. I will be in the VectorVest Q&A next Monday afternoon, but I'm indebted to Jerry for making a going on that over the last few weeks while I've been away. But I will be in, God willing, I will be in the room in the background next Monday afternoon. Thanks very much, folks. Take care of yourselves, and just wait. As I've said so many times, 70% of the exercise is getting yourself in sync with the overall market, and at the moment the overall market is falling, and for those of us with portfolios that are largely long only, we need to be careful, sit this out, and wait for the good times to start to roll again. And they will, of course, and they will start when everybody is feeling the most down and the most miserable. Thanks very much, folks. Bye-bye.